All right, in this explainer, we're going to break down a pretty interesting marketing strategy that's aimed squarely at food and service businesses. The core idea? That one single QR code can actually be a whole growth system for your business. We're going to look at exactly how this thing is pitched, from the problem it says it can solve all the way to the promises it makes.
So does this sound familiar to you? You're looking at your calendar and there are just way too many empty spots where event bookings should be. You check the sales numbers for the day and they're just not hitting that goal. You're prepping all this food, all these resources, but at the end of the night, there's just more waste than you want to see. Well, these are the exact headaches this system claims it can fix.
It sounds almost too simple to be true, doesn't it? But that's the hook. The whole idea we're digging into today is that the answer to these really big, really stressful business problems might not be some huge, complex, expensive marketing campaign, but something as simple as a sticker you can just slap on your window or your counter. Okay, so why aren't the usual things working? You've probably tried it all. You've printed flyers, you're posting on social media every day, but it's just not translating into actual people walking in the door or placing orders. The argument from the source material is that there's a huge disconnect between all the effort you're putting in and what the customer actually does. See, the strategy here boils down to one simple diagnosis. The problem isn't your special offer, it's friction. The argument is that someone might see your post online and think, oh, that's a great deal. But then life gets in the way. The moment passes and poof, that opportunity is just gone. And if you frame the problem that way, well, the solution becomes pretty clear. You've got to eliminate that friction. So let's flip over to the solution and see how this all connects. If the problem is all about friction and those missed moments, then the proposed answer is a QR code. But, and this is really the most important point here, it's not just any old QR code. And this is where the source draws a really clear line in the sand. On one side, you've got your standard QR code, the one that just zaps you over to a PDF menu. But on the other side, they're presenting this growth system as something totally different, an active tool. The whole pitch is that from just one scan, this system is built to capture customer info, ask them for reviews, and kick off a whole automated conversation. So what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's walk through the mechanics of how this is all supposed to go down from the customer's point of view. It's designed to be incredibly, incredibly simple. Just picture this. A customer is standing there, maybe waiting for their coffee. You just say one sentence. Hey, scan our code for some VIP deals. That's it. That's step one. They scan it. Step two happens instantly, totally in the background. The system grabs their info. And that immediately triggers steps three. The system starts sending them automated messages with special offers, basically starting a marketing conversation that keeps going long after they've walked out your door. Now, to back this all up, the source drops a huge number, a claimed 98% scan rate. A number that high is designed to make you sit up and pay attention. The suggestion is that if you give people the right incentive, like exclusive VIP deals, getting them to engage is almost a sure thing. It turns a totally passive customer into an active lead. Okay, so at this point, you're probably thinking exactly what I'm thinking. This all sounds pretty good, but come on, there have to be some catches, right? Well, the source material actually expects you to be skeptical, and it tries to tackle the biggest objections head on.
This is always the first big hurdle for any busy business owner, isn't it? Who has the time or the energy to learn some new, complicated piece of technology? The fear is that it's just going to be more trouble than it's worth.
And the response to that fear is just simplicity. The argument is that your job, as the owner, is almost nothing. Physically, you just put a sticker up. Verbally, you say one sentence. The whole tech side of it is supposed to be completely done for you.
And here's the other big objection, the twin to complexity. Even if it's easy to start, does it need constant babysitting? Does it need time that you just flat out do not have?
And this part is actually pretty clever because they take that objection, I don't have time, and they flip it right on its head to make it the main reason you need the system. It's reframed not as another task to add to your list, but as the solution for your lack of time. The whole idea is that it's an automated engine that just works for you, 24/7, without you having to lift a finger.
All right, and that brings us to the final, and let's be honest, usually the most important question for any small business. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. What's this going to cost me?
And here we see a classic marketing move. They reframe the entire conversation. They say, don't think of this as an expense. Instead, they want you to see it as an investment that's designed to make you money. The claim is that all the new business, the great reviews, and the repeat orders it brings in will way more than cover the cost, turning that little sticker into a profit-making machine.
So, to seal the deal, the strategy shifts from handling all your doubts to presenting you with the actual offer. The source material backs up all these big claims with a direct call to action, and they frame it as a way for you to try the whole system out with zero financial risk up front. So, according to the source, what do you get in this free trial? Well, you get your own custom QR code, you get support setting it all up, it comes preloaded with automated text messages, they'll help you create your VIP offers, and you get the whole follow-up system that works while you sleep. The key point they're trying to make here is that this isn't some weak, partial demo. They're giving you the keys to the entire engine. And that brings us to the very end of the pitch. After they've laid out the problem, the solution, and the offer, the source material leaves the business owner with one final, very provocative choice to think about. And that's the closing argument. It's framed as this direct, almost confrontational question. The story it's telling is that in today's world, a business just can't afford to stand still. By giving you this binary choice, you're either actively growing or you're falling behind watching others grow. It creates this powerful sense of urgency. The whole pitch ends right there, leaving you to think about that choice, which is a classic marketing tactic designed to get you to act.